Hi, I'm DJ Ware. On this episode of the CyberGizmo, I'm going to be talking about just a few commands that might help you determine dependencies in packages that you might be trying to install. And right after this. So what we're going to do is we're going to we're going to take a look at just a couple of packages. But before we get started with this, the CyberGizmo channel has gone by my goal. My goal for the channel was to reach 5,000 users in 2 years. That was my goal. And you guys have blown me away. Here we are, almost a year and 3 months later, and I've hit 5,000 because of you folks, and I sure do appreciate it. I just don't know what to say. I mean, you guys are just amazing. I never expected the channel to reach this so soon. I actually thought I would have to pay some dues first to be able to get there, but yeah. Anyway, thank you very much. So, what do we want to talk about? So you probably know a couple of things. Now I'm going to be talking about APT because that covers Debian and Ubuntu and Linux Mint and just a whole slew of derivations that fall from the Debian tree. And so I'll probably come back at some point and do one for Fedora on DNF and Yum. But that'll probably be the next one to do, I guess, and that would also cover CentOS. But you know, we've all done this, all right? We've installed a package, and then it broke something, right? And we don't know what happened. Now all of a sudden, the other applications that were used to run no longer run, and we've seen that several times. So you can find out that way after you install it what the dependencies were. Or there's another way. If you're thinking about installing a package from, now I would recommend doing this from the command line. The reason why I recommend that is the store doesn't always tell you what's going on with the dependencies. I mean, they do a good job of explaining some things. I mean, like if I go, let's just bring up Popshop here, for example. Let's see. Oh, I don't know. Let's pick. Yeah, let's do audio, I guess. And let's do well, that's a Flatpak. That's not going to count. Let's try one that's actually a deb. So, okay, so it gives you this nice description. And it talks about what it contains and what it supports. But I don't see any information here about what it depends on. So, yeah. So what do we do about that? I guess the thing we could do here is first of all, let's find the package. Oops, there's probably a bunch of references to it, huh? Okay, found it. There it is right there. It's version 5. So that's the guy we want to take a look at. So probably you know about this when you do a show Ardor. And it comes back with all this descriptive information, very similar to what was in the store, probably where they got it. But you'll notice that, hey, where's the dependencies? Sometimes they don't always show those dependencies in here. So if I want to drill down into that, maybe there isn't any. Maybe the Ardor just installs it. I can't believe that, but let's see. Let's try something else. Let's try AppCache. There we go. Now we're getting somewhere. So AppCache depends will print out this nice list, and for each package, so you can see it depends on Ardor data and JackD and Live Archive, and wow, there's just a pile of programs here, right? And libraries and packages, and it recommends that Well, if we had an older version of Ardour 3, it would break that. So not all Linux applications play nicely together. So if you're looking for, so it tells you what it depends on. It tells you what potentially it's going to break. And then it tells you what it recommends. And you'll see, so it recommends a browser, and then it has all of these. And then there's some suggestions of other things that it needs. And then it tells you, oh, it's going to break it because it's going to replace it. So that's not a big deal, right? Necessarily, unless you were expecting on some features that were in Ardour 3. But what about the all these guys might have dependencies too. So I could sit here and I could do cache depends on every one of those. But I got better things to do. I don't know about you. There's a package that you can install called OurDependencies. Now I've already installed this. So yeah, it's already there, and I see I have some that need to be removed. But let me go ahead and take care of that while I'm here, and don't forget it. Let me just get rid of that. This can get you in trouble too, by the way, just doing an auto remove like that. But anyway, we were talking about this one. So OurDepends will actually go through the list of the dependencies. It'll look at each one of the dependencies, libraries, or other packages, and it'll print out what they depend on. And it will continue down that tree until it reaches the end. So let's, we could do a man on it. I mean, I don't think I think you can limit how far down the tree it goes. But let's see. Reverse. Yeah, follow. So you can recursively go through the entire list, or you can say, oh, 5 levels or 3 levels is probably fine. For this one though, I'm going to do the whole thing. So let's do a sudo apt ourdepends. Since we're going to be looking at libraries that probably we won't be able to read. So let's go pick on Ardour. And we probably ought to more this. So here we go. So it gives you the same list as before, right? So these are the ones that Ardour depends upon. And then it starts down through the list, okay? So there's Ardour data. What it depends upon is nothing. JackD depends upon JackD1. JackD1 depends upon all those. Core utility, you see core utilities is right there. So it's just going to work its way down the tree. So if you have a certain version, like some applications, like you'll notice right here, some libraries require a certain dependency. Like this one is saying this libinfo6 depends on libc6, but it wants it greater than or equal to 216. Sometimes you get it needs to be equal to a certain version, and that's usually when you run into problems with things breaking. Is either it will refuse to install the new application, or it'll refuse to install the library, and of course that would then break the application that you're trying to install. So this will save you some time. This will save you a lot of time. See, I saved you a step. You don't have to go through all these things and look through it. You can let the system do it for you. And it puts it in a really nice, neat format. So if you want more information about what these different things do, let's just do a copy here. We'll go ahead and let this go through. I mean, you can see it's going on. Now, Ardour is a very large package. Another one, let's go ahead and stop this enough. Let's try another one. Let's try FFmpeg is also pretty big. So let's do that one. And you'll see here that it's a little bit different. It talks about one additional record. So which one am I looking at here? This is, okay, there's where my command started. So this is talking about FFmpeg version 4.2.4. gives me some information about it, tells me that it depends on all of this stuff, and then it says it suggests this one and it breaks these. So here, right here, we have one that it only wants live AV tools that are less than 6:12. And then I guess those are, the tildes are matching patches. So whatever the highest patch number is what it'll take. Qt Fast Start, again, it wants less than. These kinds of things is where you will get into trouble. Because you usually would prefer the package would go the other way, right? It would be inversely compatible, but not. This has compatibility issues with newer versions of Qt Fast Start than what's listed here. So let's try this AppCache. Let's try this one. And then it starts to run down through the dependencies. And it tells me, oh, it's going to replace those two anyway. So, but again, we can do the longer list and see everything. So there's the codec 58. There's its dependencies, and then it should go to live. It'll probably come down through all of those first. So it's going to exhaust this tree. This is called an application tree, by the way. So, or a dependency tree. So, yeah, it's going to go all the way down through them. And yeah, this is good because this is a forward compatibility. So it'll accept anything greater than or equal to. That's, as if you think about it, as time goes on, as you apply packages to your system and you update them, you're always going up. There are a few times where there are regressions in packages where they will bring things back down. If they run into, some severe limitation that just breaks everything, they'll stop and they'll do a regression on a package and go back to an older version. But that's kind of rare. Most of the time, we're going the other way, right? We're going to newer versions of the package. So you're probably going to have a lot. I mean, now it's not that you can't run into problems with newer versions of the packages. People can break things in the code. So I'm not saying that is always going to be great. Never worry about it if it says greater than. But at least you have some inkling as to what's going on here. Now, this one is saying you got to have exactly this version. So, yeah, there's a potential, and I mean, it is what it is, right? I mean, it's whatever the application developer says it's going to be. They only have so much time in their life to be able to work on new things, and if they're going to go down through the tree and update every single package, that would take a long, well, you can see to get the FFmpeg, it could take a very long time to get down through the tree and make sure you're always on the latest version of everything. And that isn't always good either, because they could have deprecated features that you have an application that's depending upon those features. I've run into that a few times. It doesn't happen very often, but it does happen. Yeah. So anyway, that's all I had. I just really short one today, yeah. Thank you all once again. I sure do appreciate it, and I hope you have fun playing with this. There is variants for Yum and DNF, the two package managers for Fedora, and probably should do one on Pacman as well, because it also can do this. There are tools within Arch and the Arch derivatives to also look at package dependencies. So just consider this a start, trying to get the largest number of segment of users first. And then we'll work on the next segment and the next segment and kind of drill down a little bit. Hope you enjoyed this short talk today. And the reason why I'm cutting it short is I'm working on my experiment. I've gotten ZFS on Linux, the 2.0 has its second release candidate for the merger between BSD and Linux. And so I'm going to set up a test system, and I'm going to try the RC2 client today. And so I'm kind of wanting to do that, and then I'll cover what I found out. Or maybe I'll just go live on Friday and just walk through it with you, because it'll probably take me a couple of days to get the hardware set up and get it ready. And then Friday, not maybe, I think that's what I'll do. I think Friday I'll do a live stream, and we'll just see together how well this is going to work. So again, thank y'all, and see you on Friday, and bye for now.